I go around and I go around and I go around, I go around. I'm always out, I am always out, I am always out, I'm always out. I keep running so I don't have to go.
Oh my god, guys, literally when I went to like pick up the books to do my thumbnail, I was like struggling. I was in so much pain. I was like, just hold it up for 5 more seconds to take your thumbnail. Oh my god, especially the books that I want to read this month. It is so heavy. But anyways, if you're new here, my name is Mila. I make everything from postgrad, lifestyle, and bookish type content. So, if anything of that sounds fun, definitely hit the subscribe button down below. We also delve into pop culture. So we talk about shows, we talk about movies. I do want to get like more. That's the same thing. We talk about shows, movies, and music. I want to get more into that. So I'm like trying to have like a video in that realm, a minimum once every single month. So, we'll see how I explore that this coming year. And today we're going to be looking at my January wrap up as well as my February TBR. So let's just go right into it. We're gonna start with the wrap up because that's the pile of books that's like closest to me over here. Well, one of these books got got pushed into January from December because I was not able to finish it, and that is, guys, I did it. I finally did it. A Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. So in January I read Throne of Glass. See how much I tabbed. I read Throne of Glass, and I also read Crown of Midnight. These two books are so good. I'm like, why did it take me so long to read this? I have no idea. And I'm also bringing out a reading vlog for this series. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea, absolutely no idea when this video is going to come out. Maybe, I want to roughly estimate May, but I could be completely wrong. I have no idea. I really want to try to read like 2 books per month because I feel like that way I can get it out before summer, because I really do want to finish this series before summer after tackle ACOTAR like in the fall. That is the plan. We're gonna see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I can do it. I feel like I looked super washed out before, so kind of like fix it. I feel like it looks a little better. I don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because I was like, I look so deathly pale. But anyways, what is Throne of Glass about? Very excited, very curious, very, very happy you ask. Very happy you asked. So Throne of Glass, oh my god, I just like thought back to the twist at the end of book 2, and I'm like, oh my god. Okay, so basically Throne of Glass, you have this assassin who is in prison, right? And how the series starts out is that someone gets her out of prison, and then she's competing to be the king's champion. While she's there, she meets a few people, and the story, wow, just wow. I was so nervous going in because for some reason, I don't know who told me this, but when I heard of Throne of Glass, I was like, okay, this is like younger YA, and she's gonna be like much younger, but she was like, I think 18, so I don't know why I thought she'd be like 15 or 16, so I was like, okay, no, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, and it's like, everyone loves it, but probably everyone read it when they were like younger, so that's why they like it, and I was so nervous, and I'm like, you are so stupid, like, you didn't pick it up because you had these like preconceived notions on it that were wrong. They were wrong. I don't know who told me these facts. I don't know why I believe these facts, but guys, literally the best thing I read. So Throne of Glass, let me pick the back up. So Throne of Glass, I was so unsure what to rate it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rate it 4.75 for now because I don't know what's gonna happen next. So rating it 5-star, I was like, I can't do it. I rated 4.75. But guys, Crown of Midnight, the things that happen in Crown of Midnight, wow, just wow. And once again, like what happens kind of like halfway through with that one person, the girl, no, and then the reveal at the, just so, I have to keep my mouth shut. Because I don't want to spoil anything in the off chance that you have not read this. But all my thoughts are in that video that's honestly going to come out in like 3 months. So, if you want to stick around for that, please do. Please hit the subscribe button so you know when it comes out. If you don't want to stick around for it, I totally understand. It's 3 months away. But Crown of Midnight, I rated this 5 stars because I was like, it is just so good. And like every single time that I doubted myself, I was like, is this more of a 4.5, 4.75? Something happened and I was like, no, it's a 5-star. And then I doubted myself again and I was like, I don't know. But then something else happened and I was like, this is a 5-star. So I loved Crown of Midnight. Oh my god, it was so good. I also read a book that I have had on my shelf literally since 2022. 2022, it's almost been 4 years. It's almost been 4 years it was on my shelf, but I read it and I rated it 4.75 from Look Off with Love by Mariana Zapata. Guys, oh my god. Oh my god. It is so perfect. So my personal thing is that I'm not a fan of when the characters get together like early on. It's like a little bit spicy. I don't like that. Like a little touch of it, I find it tasteful. I find it nice. When it's too much of that, I'm like, not for me. The tension throughout everything. Oh my god. The competitive aspect. It was absolute perfection. It didn't feel like a 5-star. I feel like something was missing for me and I was so annoyed because I was like, this has 5-star energy. I was so excited. It didn't like scratch that itch, so I was like 4.75. In this story, we have Jasmine and Lukov. So they're both figure skaters. Jasmine, she had a little issue with her other partner, so she's like alone, like she's like solo skating basically. And then Lukov, well, Ivan, he I think his thing ended with his like other partner. So they're both out of partners. So Ivan's coach goes to Jasmine and she's like, hey, we want you to skate with Ivan. And at first Jasmine's like, that's sus, that's weird, because they don't like each other. They really do not like each other. But then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Oh my god, it's just seeing just chef's kiss. I'm not gonna say more because I don't want to spoil. I don't want to give anything away because I went in with no expectations at all. I just knew that and I was so pleasantly surprised. And guys, wow, just wow. This next book that I read, I was like pleasantly surprised. I went in not knowing what to expect. I was just like, it's a quick book to read in a little vlog. Yeah, a little vlog that I think it's the video coming out right before this one when I spent a weekend alone. I read Today, Tonight, Tomorrow. So I did not know what to expect going in. I just knew that it was a romance between two people who are graduating high school. They're like not really a fan of each other. And it's basically like, it's like told in like 24 hours, right? That's what I knew going in. So these are academic rivals to lovers, and I didn't expect to cry. Like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the time that I read it, the speed at which I read it, but it hit a spot and I rated this 4.5 stars. Like, I'm not gonna say more because I really went in knowing nothing. I was so pleasantly surprised, but the writing style is great, and I feel like how the author writes, it just connects with me. It just made sense with me. Not that I could necessarily see myself in the main character, but there was just something that I was like, me too, girl, me too. And yeah, I cried. But so good. Definitely an underhyped book that I definitely do recommend. And then lastly, well, the last complete book that I read is We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. So I had no idea what to expect going in, right? I was just like, okay, Bunny Part 2, let me buy it, let me read it. I didn't even read the back. I just knew that the bunnies were back. So how the story starts is that we have Sam, who is captured by the bunnies, and they give their point of view of the story of everything that happened in book 1, how they became friends and stuff like that. So I really like that. And you see like all the bunnies' points of views. And then part 2, we go to Arius, who is, I guess, their creature, right? And then we see his point of view because he's like writing his own story. It's not that I didn't like the inclusion of Arius's part. I liked it, but I feel like I got a little more bored when I was reading his part. But there was this one time that was so funny. Oh my god, I just like remembered it because Arius kind of had a thing for Jonah. Arius and Jonah were talking, and then oh my god, what was being said? I think Arius was like, oh, I don't like poets, and then because Jonah is a poet, and then Jonah said something that like he didn't like something that was like with Arius, and then Arius in his like narration, he's like, oh, God reader, with like a sad face, and then Jonah was like, oh, but you're an exception, and then Arius is like, oh, God reader, with a happy face. I cackled because the like negative oh god reader is like at the end of one page, then you flip and like the first line is like oh god reader with a smiley face. I like that because it was funny, it was tasteful, but I feel like I did get bored and I was like looking more forward to hearing from the bunny's point of view. I still rated this like 4 stars. I think it was great, but I feel like once again I did get a little bored. I'm so happy I read this. Like I genuinely loved it, but for that reason I'm like it doesn't feel right to rate it a little bit higher. And then well, this is kind of like the bridging between my January wrap-up and my February TBR. So there's 2 books that I did start in January, but I wasn't able to finish. So first we have The Real Deal by Lauren Lauren Blakely. I'm reading this for a reading vlog that is coming out in March. So I definitely took a head start. I am like 185 pages in, basically halfway, right? So this book, I guess I'll like briefly tell you what it's about. So this book, we have our main character who is going home to a family gathering and she needs a fake boyfriend, right? She's gonna have one of her friends do it for her, but then her friend like can't come because he has like a job thing in like London. So he gets one of his friends to kind of like fill in for him. I got to day 2. It's like a 5-day family reunion and I'm liking it so far. So I'm excited to see where this goes. And then the other book that I started in January that I wasn't able to finish is The Assassin's Blade. So this is just like I think five like little short stories in the Throne of Glass world before we get to the events of Throne of Glass. So I read the first 2, I really liked it, and we kind of like we're seeing more of Sam. So I find that interesting. I don't know if the characters that we get introduced to over here are gonna pop up in later books. I feel like they might, because I'm like, why is it recommended to read this as like the 3rd book? I don't know. So maybe because the 2nd story we meet someone, I don't know if we're putting emphasis on the story because the story itself didn't feel like, I guess, like necessary, but I feel like it could be like foreshadowing to a character who we might meet later on. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying that. Like this one, I'm not like forcing myself to finish like super fast. It's just in between books, I'm like, I can read a little 100-page like short story. So I think by the end of the month, I can finish this. And then bridging into my February TBR, I want to read, ignore the little corner of this book. I try to scratch off the sticker, but it looks so bad. So I have to clean it up like once I'm done filming this video. We have Hair of Fire, which is book number 3. They're getting a little chunky. So I didn't want to put Queen of Midnight. Is that the book? My bad, Queen of Shadows on this TBR. Obviously, if I have extra time, I'm going to pick it up, but I really want to focus on reading book 3. I'm intrigued on how book 3 is going to be because my understanding of how book 2 ended, we have a change of location, but then I open this and the map is the same. Again, to my understanding, the location that I thought that would be like the story would be taking place in this book is like not on the map. So I don't know, I could be completely wrong. Then we have a bunch of little romances because obviously February, Valentine's. So the first book that I want to read is a novel love story by Ashley Poston. Give me a second. Let me just show you something because I did buy this with my friend when we went to Paris back in November. So I have, oh my god, it's so hard to do this with one hand. I have the little Shakespeare & Co. sticker because I was like, this is just the perfect book to buy from Shakespeare & Co. I have no idea what this book is about. So my friend actually told me that she heard a lot about this, and I feel like I have heard a lot about this online, or I've just like seen the name, and she was like, I feel like this could be such a good book. She was gonna get like another book. We both said we're just gonna get one. So I was like, you know what? I trust your like recommendation. I'm gonna pick it up. I don't know what it's about, but I'm excited to read it, and it's like a little memory from my trip. Then another, oh my god, I have this like red scarf that it's so annoying. It just like gets into everything and it's all over my book. But anyways, the second little romance that I do want to read in February is X's and O's by Amy Lee. So I've had this book on my shelf for a little bit, like a little while. I think like maybe a year or 2. I really want to read it because the cover looks so cute, and from what I understood, it's basically like, I don't know, an older version of like To All the Boys I Loved Before, because the main guy character is here to like help her reconnect with her exes. So I guess kind of like not like To All the Boys I Loved Before, but kind of like the same. And then obviously they do fall in love, and I feel like this has 5-star potential. I feel like it can be super cute, and I'm generally so excited because the cover is also gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So fingers crossed it's a little 5-star. And I do want to bring out a little reading vlog this month, reading little romances. So stay tuned because you're going to see my thoughts on that. Then we also have That Kind of Guy by Stephanie Archer. So I have not seen anyone just like talking about this, but at some point I was going on Amazon and I was like, oh, let's look at like small town romances, and then this thing popped up. So this one, we have our main character who is, I think she works somewhere, and the guy, he's like running for mayor, and they're like, you know what, we can have this like mutually beneficial agreements, like you get money and I like look better for my campaign. So they fake date. This has potential. I'm kind of nervous, but I feel like this could be super good. And the cover is like really cute. This is a 4-book series, like around brothers. So if I like this, I'll definitely be picking up the others. The last little romance, people were in love with this book back, I think like 2 years ago, but I never picked it up. I'm finally gonna pick it up. I'm so excited because my thing was, I want to wait until the beautiful cartoon characters. I want to wait for the cartoon characters because I don't like the original character, like the original cover with like the guy's face on it. So I waited, and then I ordered this from Amazon like maybe last year, and I'm so excited and so nervous to finally read it. And that is Marriage for One by Ella Mays. I have no idea what this book is about. I just know that people love it. It's amazing. It's surprisingly so heavy. Like, it doesn't seem that chunky, but oh my god, it's heavy. I don't want to know what it's about. I want to go in completely blind, discover it like everyone else did. I am so nervous, but so excited. That, you know, that might just be the first book that I read in that little like romance book reading vlog, because can I help myself? Probably not. Probably not. And then the last book I want to read, I figured this was like the best month for a Snowden thriller. So I was like, you know what? One by One by Ruth Ware is the perfect thriller to put in this month. I have had this on my shelf for so long, but the problem is that this book, it's like I have to read it in like December, January, February, because it's a Snowden thriller. But then that's also when I go to cottages. So it's like I'm not gonna be reading this when I'm going to cottage, because I'm just gonna give myself anxiety, right? But no, this is the year that we do it. I think this takes place, oh my god, okay, I don't think I'm gonna be able to open the book. Okay, wait, I did. Okay, so this takes place in the French Alps, and they get snowed in, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to know more. I want to go in blind. I just want to know that it's a snowed in thriller, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 6 like completely new books to read this month, and 2 that I'm carrying over. So I think it's very reasonable to finish everything. I was not able to finish my January TBR, and I know I sound like a broken record, but like so many like last minute things happened, and so many like little life-changing things happened, like not necessarily for me but for like other people. So like I was like helping around, I was like around for other people, and I feel like, you know, having gone through that, I have a better perspective, better view on what my February is going to be like, because I have more things like planned ahead of time. It's not like I'm going into January and I'm like letting things happen because my month is like empty. Like no, February, my month is like not completely packed but like pretty full. I already like planned very specifically how I'm gonna get everything done. So I think that I can read all these books, and let's hope that I can have such a successful reading month like last time, because did I expect to only have like 4+ stars in January? No. Will this continue in February? I really hope so. Like none of these books that I'm looking at right now feel like they would be under 3 stars, like unless one book is like I started reading it and I'm like, this is the absolute worst thing ever. I feel like we're starting off the year with a very, very good, you know, good momentum, good reading vibe. Let me know down below if you think that I'll rate any of these books under 4 stars, because I would love to keep my like streak of above 4 stars. But anyways, that's gonna be all for me today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button down below and to leave a thumbs up so I know that you like these little TBR and wrap up videos. I think I mentioned in my January TBR that I wanted to do more games around my TBRs. I think I'm gonna do it like every other month, but I do like the idea of combining my wrap up and my TBRs together. So I don't know how I'm gonna mix in a game, but I thought like for this month, since I didn't really have the time to think about it, I'm just gonna put both like together, and then we're gonna see how we do it later on. But yeah, let me know if you like this video by leaving a thumbs up, and if you want to go, you know, check me out elsewhere. My TikTok, Instagram, and my Goodreads are all linked down below, so definitely do not go hesitate to check out the description. Yeah, that's gonna be all for me today, so stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.